In this episode of Storytime, this will be my earliest memory. Um, Parts of it are um, things that have been told to me. I will let you know when my memory kicks in on some of this stuff, but I got to give you the whole story. Can't just tell you about what I remember. Um, so I was 2 years old, 19 April of 1990. Um, my mom, my older brother, and I were living in a single story apartment complex, nothing special. Behind it was a park. So it had like the typical jungle gym 90s. Well, it's probably built in the 80s actually, but it was a jungle gym. Um, my mom and her best friend were at the house. Her best friend had 3 or 4 kids as well. I can't exactly remember how many kids she had, but her best friend's boyfriend, um, his uncle was there as well. And what I've found out was that her my mom's best friend's my mom's best friend and her boyfriend were trying to set my mom and his uncle up with each other, blah blah blah, whatever. Anyways, they were meeting at our house. And so my brother and I and all of my mom's best friend's kids were outside in the park running around. Now, between basically what separated the play areas with the grass back then were great big, like, railroad ties. And this is the part that I vividly remember. We were running around playing tag or whatever like that, and I happened to trip over one of those separating railroad ties and landed, as all kids do, with their hands down, palms down. Well, I just happened to land on a broken beer bottle, um, right in the palm of my hand. I remember screaming, obviously. My brother running me in the house with the other kids that were with us. I remember my mom's best friend's boyfriend holding me and carrying me into the bathroom as my mom washed like the palm of my hand or rinsed it under water, really, is what it was. And I remember after that having my hand wrapped in a towel and then him putting me in the back seat of my mom's car. We then went to the hospital where I obviously got stitches, and I can't remember how many stitches it was. I want to say, I think it was anywhere between 11 and 15. I'm not exactly sure. Can't remember exactly how many stitches there were. Um, it was pretty traumatic. Like, I remember them cleaning it out at the hospital. I remember sitting there with them putting my hand in a, like, on a tray kind of thing with the blue paper or whatever. I remember them doing the stitches, and that's about it as far as like that moment and the memories in that moment. In the picture that will be following this, there is a lightish green, grayish dot in the palm of my hand as well. That is from middle school ish time. I'm not exactly sure, but I had just sharpened a pencil and dropped it as I sat down at my desk. And so what had happened was I dropped it and I went to grab it, like reflexes, like, oh shit, you dropped it, you go to grab it. Well, it landed on the eraser as I went down to grab it, and it stabbed me in the palm of my hand, and it basically broke off a hunk of the lead in my palm of my hand. So when you see the picture at the end of this, that is where That's what happened there. Um, yeah, so another short little story time here of my earliest memory. And like I said, parts of it would have been conveyed to me over the years, but the tripping and having my hand rinsed over the sink and covered and being carried to the car and the actual stitches part, I I vividly remember all of it. 19 April of 1990. I was 2 years old. Um, yeah. So thanks for listening to this little story. Hey, so just thought I would explain here. So obviously, where the two arrows are, that's the top and the bottom of the scar. Um, kind of added a little black line so you can see the whole thing. Now, when it happened, that was the entire middle of my palm. So at 2 years old, it went from the bottom of my fingers to my wrist. So as you can see, the older you get, scars do not grow with you. They just kind of stay where they're at. But thought I would just get on there again and explain it to you guys so you can visually see where everything's at. And then in the middle of the circle is the dot I was telling you about with the lead.